Joining us now is Democratic Senator Ed Markey of Massachusetts. Thank you so much, Senator, for being here. Is this so-called anti-weaponization fund legal? And what realistically can Democrats do to stop it?
Well, from my perspective, the court, which was supervising this case, has to intervene. And they have to rule that this is a complete and total abuse of power by Donald Trump, by his own Justice Department, and that this is something that cannot stand as a precedent in the United States. So for me, I'm calling upon the court. Other Democrats, we're going to be calling upon the court to intervene. This settlement cannot be allowed to stand. He cannot have $1.7 billion to take care of the Oath Keepers, to take care of Proud Boys, to take care of insurrectionists who attacked this Capitol. 150 police officers were injured or killed on that day when Donald Trump incited that riot. He cannot be allowed to have $1.7 billion to take care of them. This is supposed to be a Justice Department that takes care of everyone else's family. They are just now taking care of Donald Trump's MAGA family, and the court must intervene and stop this settlement.
I know some House Democrats have filed an amicus brief to try to block this fund. Any similar plans among senators? And are you hearing from any GOP colleagues who share your concern?
Well, as we know, the Republican Party in general is in a witness protection program. They say the right things, but ultimately when they have to step up and take action, they do not. It's just invasion of the body snatchers. They look like the same people, but when it takes the courage to stand up, they do not actually stand up and fight for the American people when Trump is engaging in his corrupt practices. So this is a defining moment for the Republican Party. It's corruption on stilts, and it is imperative for them to say something, to do something, but I don't expect any action from them.
Turning to the primaries, President Trump has been focused on political retribution on the campaign trail, and his ire is currently focused on Kentucky Congressman Thomas Massie, who's on the ballot today. Time and again, we've seen Republican voters choose the Trump-backed candidates against people who push back on the president. Does that make it even harder to find GOP colleagues willing to break with the president?
Yeah, we're essentially like Diogenes looking for an honest man here, an honest woman, who will stand up for the truth, who will stand up against Donald Trump and his incitement of this MAGA base when even Republicans say the Epstein files should be released, or saying that there should not be huge cuts for rural hospitals in our country. That does not happen in this modern Republican Party. And by the way, it's why he's intervening in the gerrymandering cases around the country. It's why he wants $70 billion more for ICE, because their plan ultimately is to put ICE on the streets of our country for Election Day this year in order to suppress the vote of black and brown and immigrant communities all across this country. That's what it is all about, because he does not want the Democrats to have a gavel in the House and Senate that can then subpoena all of the records that unearth for public inspection all of this corruption, which is at the heart of the Trump administration. So there's just more coming, more voter suppression, more use of ICE, and perhaps the Army and the Marines, if he invokes the Insurrection Act later on before the elections, in order to make sure that the Republicans win and retain power. That's his only protection against, ultimately, the kinds of hearings that would only rival Richard Nixon or Warren G. Harding in terms of the total corruption that this administration has been engaging in.
Senator Ed Markey, got to leave it there for now. Thank you very much for taking the time. We appreciate you joining us today.